talk, and you guys know why I'm so intrigued by her, because everything she was saying wasn't about you have to be a certain size, you have to lose a certain amount of weight, you have to do it to look better. It was all about like the internal, how you feel. And you're going to correct me if I'm wrong, but if you eat right for nutrition for your body, and you work out for health benefits for your body and for longevity, if you choose weight loss or if something, those things will happen when everything else gets into alignment.
Right.
Okay.
You got it.
I am here to learn just like all of you. So without further ado, I'm going to let Tiffany Hill talk.
Thank you, Patty. I really want to thank you because I'm so happy that we made this connection, and you invited me to do this. So I really appreciate this. So my name is Tiffany Hill. I am a certified personal trainer, certified nutrition coach, certified weight loss specialist through NASM, National Academy of Sports Medicine. I went right to the top when I wanted to learn about what to do 15 years ago. I'm really excited to speak about this topic today, this, menopause. And listen, I'm through it. I'm 54 years old. I'm there too. So it's not somebody, I'm not somebody who is just, learning about it through like outside sources. I've experienced it and am experiencing it. Okay. So I'm a transformation specialist too, along with that's the whole personal training and the nutrition. And what I believe in and what I've always believed in is eating whole foods and exercising smart, stress management, and proper sleep, the 4 pillars of a healthy lifestyle. I owned a boot camp studio in Oakland for 11 years, TNT Boot Camps. And that's really my my speaking engagements experience is my boot camp classes. So bear with me here. I always have my notes in front of me so that I don't forget everything that I want to say. So just to give you a little bit of background for myself and the changes that my body has gone through. When I turned 50, my whole thing was, at that time, I'm like, I just wanted to see how lean that I could get at the age of 50. Okay, so I just was on my own personal journey trying to get lean. Now I'm already in the fitness world, so I've got that background, I've got the nutrition stuff, and I was just, competing with myself to see what I could do. So I got to this place when I turned 50, which was 2019, and I was proud of myself for digging deep and getting the job done and really making these changes to my body. And then everything changed. Then everything changed. So I was 50 in 2019, and 2020. I was already in perimenopause at that point, though. So I was already in that point. And, getting deeper and deeper into it and closer to that point of menopause and then postmenopause, which happened for me about 2 years ago. So my body changed from being the leanest that I ever was. And when I went on that journey, it wasn't about, I didn't put a number to it, I didn't put a weight to it, I didn't put a body fat number to it. I just wanted to see where I could get by the age of 50, So I have my marker from there, and that's what I'm comparing to where I am now, which is different. Okay, my body is different, my weight is different, my body fat is different. But when you're going through the perimenopause and you're going through these the symptoms, the night sweats, so you're not sleeping, so your energy levels are low, all of those kinds of things. I got through that, and now like my energy levels are back to, I guess where they were. They were definitely compromised because of that for a period of time. And, my sleep is pretty much back to where it used to be. I was always a good sleeper, thank God. My mental health is so much better because that definitely, struggles during, for a lot of people during the perimenopause and menopause phase. And I knew that it suffered. I didn't know it at the time. 2021 was a rough year for me, and there was a lot of different things going on there. But in hindsight, I can look back and see the struggles that I went through in 2021, which was, the demise of a relationship that I had, which I attribute like menopause mind or menopause brain to, as a major player in that demise, and also trying to figure out, where I was professionally going from, COVID year of, not seeing people anymore to, do I stick with the virtual and whatever. So a lot of things were going on there. My nutrition is cleaner again. There were things that I did when I was trying to get to my leanest body, and it was easier. It was definitely easier. So now I have to make nutrition cleaner to head back in that direction. And my fitness is still on point. That suffered at the point where my energy levels were low because my sleep was compromised by, the menopause. So, but my fitness is back, and it feels great. It's been back on track since, like 2021. But menopause throws us a curveball, and I'm going to be the baseball mom right here because I am a baseball mom. I came up with this, whole analogy. Menopause throws us curveballs, and we need to play our best game and have our best strategies so that we don't strike out because of those curveballs that menopause throws us. And not everybody goes through the same thing with menopause either. I have a friend who doesn't go through the same symptoms that I went through. So not everybody is there. But some of these curveballs, and see if these resonate with you. This was probably the biggest one for me. Digestion. My digestion was totally off, okay? Digestive enzymes, creating that distended belly and an uncomfortable feeling after eating certain foods or certain amounts of foods, it depends. Our hormones are completely out of whack. Our specific girly hormones plummet, cortisol goes up, insulin isn't cooperating anymore, and all the other hormones. Our cravings are higher and our defenses are lower, all right? I mean, how much of that have you experienced? Our sleep is compromised, like I said before, those night sweats, they really kind of get in the way. And that means our energy most likely is gonna be lower, when you're not getting the sleep, you don't have the energy, and that, then prevents the daily movement that you might wanna get in, right? You're too tired to have that exercise and to do that exercise. How about that? Your hair and your nails get brittle and weak and break.
I feel like you've been watching me and like wrote all this stuff down. Like this is everything you've talked about. I've hit every single one.
Yeah, that's why that's why I have this list. Some people can't relate to everything on this list. This is my list, by the way.
Every single one.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but you haven't gotten the brain fog yet.
Okay, listen, yeah.
Add it to the list. Brain fog.
Brain fog. I mean, that's like menopause brain, and it's brain fog. It's like depression. It's like a lot of different things going on. And then, of course, it's so much harder to lose weight and to lose body fat, right? So
that's okay. I'm just gonna say that's the biggest one.
That's
Like
It is the
my
biggest
body
one.
doesn't listen at all. I don't know this body at all. This is why you're
right.
here.
So we don't know our bodies anymore. Mine definitely changed. I was like, what's going on, and I know there's things with menopause. This is before, diving as deep into it as I did, in order to figure out what's going on here. Like, why? I worked so damn hard, why? So, so I figured a lot of it out. But again, everybody's formula is different. Not everybody's symptoms are the same, and not everybody's lifestyles are the same. So, everybody's formula is different. And menopause, though, does not mean you have to have the extra belly fat, the extra weight. It's not an excuse to have it. Just like if your family, I've heard this a lot, somebody says, well, I'm overweight because the rest of my family is overweight. Okay, you don't have to be, all right, just because your family is. Or, I'm overweight because I had children, okay? Whatever, there's a lot of those, excuses or denials, and menopause is the same. You don't have to be overweight because you went through menopause. You don't have to carry the extra belly fat because of menopause. And then thinking about how to fix that, right? Overtraining, outtraining a bad diet is not going to fix that, though. And another crash diet is not gonna fix that. Not changing your poor behaviors, you know, the bad habits that you're laughing at the time.
You described our whole life.
All right, how many have there been?
What,
let's
bad
face
diets?
it,
Every single one.
because let's face it, it hasn't worked yet, right? You might have lost it, and then you bring it back up, you know, whatever. You know, you gotta change those behaviors, right? So adding more cardio, not gonna do it. Eating less and training more, not gonna do it. And not changing this up here, your mind, is not gonna do it. If this is the way that you've always been, if you related to that list, okay, if you've always been there, you've created cracks in your foundation, okay? But they can be fixed. But it's gonna be a little bit harder, might take a little bit longer, but it's completely possible to do it, okay? You have to have the patience, you have to have the determination, you have to want it. You have to want it for you. And only you can want it for you, okay? So, I want to say, if you think that all hope is lost for weight loss, for body fat loss because of menopause, it's not. All hope is lost if you're not willing to treat your body the way it needs to be treated, okay? And give it that healthier lifestyle that it deserves, and so that you can make the changes that you want to make. All right, and maybe you're not looking to make changes on the outside. Maybe it's only just on the inside. Maybe it's just cleaning up your nutrition so you feel better, so you have that energy, right? So, you know, maybe you do lose a couple inches and your clothes fit a little bit better, whatever it is. You know, maybe that's what you want, and that's awesome. You have to decide what it is that you want. But again, maybe it's just about feeding your body properly and exercising it the right way so that you just feel good, okay? Because a lot of that will just make you feel better. So what is it that we can do about it? You know, how can, for whoever wants to lose weight, which I think is really where all our minds always go because something has changed along the way with menopause, how can we do it? So I've got some tips for you on how you can combat that menopause, weight gain, belly fat gain, and did everybody like feel it, or if everybody's there, like do y'all feel it in the same spot here?
Yeah. It like sits well,
Yeah,
it's gonna be on Facebook Live, everybody knows. It literally sits over my pants on my lap.
Right.
Like it's just extra here. I need it.
Yeah.
We're working on that.
We all feel it in the same spot, and I'm gonna pause for a second because I want oh no, all right. You know, I'm gonna go on with the tips first, and then I'm gonna I can tell you how I'm feeling right now. Anyway, the first tip is don't overdo. Oh yeah.
Can we turn off the TVs? Because I don't think they don't need to be on, right, for them to see the feed.
I don't know how to turn the TV off.
Because this is really
It's distracting.
Oh, that's so funny. Okay, yeah. I mean,
strobing.
flickering. Yeah.
yeah. Do you want to?
Even minimize it, maybe.
Maybe.
Oh wait.
Yeah.
The X, just with the X.
I'll minimize.
Yeah,
Minimize,
minimize it.
yeah.
Yeah, because then it's not going to close out anything. There you go.
There
There
you go.
you go.
Thank you.
Okay. I didn't see that, so that's good. All right, I'm gonna start with the tips, and then I'm gonna just give you another one of my experiences, because I got plenty. All right, so don't overdo the caloric deficit. All right, so that's talking about those crash diets mainly. You don't want to overdo that caloric deficit, okay? Because when you have too few calories, all right, if for instance, when I'm coaching my clients, we talk about our BMR, our basal metabolic rate, and it's the baseline calories that your body needs just to lay on the couch all day, okay? Most of those crash diets have you below that number, right? I mean, it's so bad for your body, okay? So you want to focus on fat loss without losing the muscle, okay? Whether we strength train or not, we have muscle in our body. Muscle is our metabolism. Okay, so you want to go through fat loss without losing your muscle, and we have to preserve that because it's harder to build muscle now as we get older, right? And we have to do things to keep that muscle. Our metabolism goes down, after the age of 30, it starts, you know, going down each year. All right. And if we're at menopause, most of us are far from 30. so you know how much it's declined since then. We got to preserve that, because that's our body's furnace. That's our fat burning machine, our natural fat burning machine. So we want to preserve that as much as possible too. And you know, it's harder to build muscle at this point in life, but it's not impossible at all. You can start at any time. And you know, if you're in that kind of caloric deficit, you know, that major caloric deficit, but you're, you know, working out and you know, trying to keep lean, you're working hard at something that diet is going to kind of kill. All right. So, you know, you're kind of wasting a lot of hard work. And so you don't want to do that, right? Yeah, we can't afford to compromise our already slower metabolism. We need to give our bodies every opportunity to keep that as optimal as possible. Tip number 2 is focusing on protein. Protein. All right? Promotes muscle growth and retention. It helps us stay functionally stronger. As we get older, it helps to build bone. It makes up all of our tissues. All right? So, you know, we get protein from like animal proteins, and then there's the plant proteins. There's protein powder. You know, you always want to try and get everything from natural food first. But focus on the protein, because that's going to help. Okay, you just want to prioritize protein, and that's a macronutrient. Okay, if anybody's hears the term macronutrients but doesn't know what that means, there's 3 of them. Protein is one of them. The next one, it also relates to my next tip, is fats. That's another macronutrient. Don't fear fats. Okay, people think fat makes them fat. That's not what it is. All right, fats are so important for our bodies, and they don't make you fat. You want to increase your omega-3 fats that you take in, like your salmon, for instance, or your supplement if you don't have enough fish during the week, because inflammation is common during menopause. All right, and we want to reduce the inflammation in our bodies, and inflammation causes chronic diseases. So we want to eat our fats the way we need to eat our fats, and they also help with hormonal balance. Okay, so fats are very important for your body. And that brings me to my next tip, which is also the 3rd macronutrient, which is carbs. All right, don't everybody freak out because they said carbs. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Do not necessarily fear carbs. And I kind of put that word necessarily in there, and I'll explain why. Everybody fears carbs. Carbs don't steer fat storage. Overconsumption of calories drives fat storage. All right, it's not the carbs that do that, so you don't have to run away from them. However, if you are a non-active person, carbs are not going to be used in your body, and then that's how I coach my clients through strategies with that. So there's more carb strategies than there are really protein and fat strategies with nutrition and my coaching the clients. So protein, number 1, don't fear fats, and depending on your activity level, you fit carbs in there. Carbs are important for your body, they're important for your brain, so is fat, so is protein. So don't fear them. And tip number 5, my favorite one of all, Mary probably knows what I'm gonna say, is strength training. Strength training, okay? No, you will not become Arnold Schwarzenegger if you strength train, okay? Women always fear the bulking up. And, you know, and maybe that's subjective, what bulking up means to different people, okay? I strength train all the time. That's what I've been doing forever. I never liked cardio until recently. But strength training, I get this message that's popping up, sorry. Strength training is so important. And that could be body weight. That could be dumbbells. That could be weight machines in the gym. It could be a lot of different things. It's resistance that you're working with, all right, to build muscle. Because more cardio could be catabolic to muscle. It could break muscle tissue down, and we don't want to do that. We want to preserve the muscle tissue. We want to build the muscle tissue, and that's what strength training will do for you. It will give you a higher metabolic rate. So the more strength training you do, the better your metabolism is going to be, all right? And that's how you burn fat at rest. Again, if you're new to strength training now, don't say that it's hopeless and I've never done it before and how am I gonna build muscle now? You can. You can start at any time. Using weights needs to be prioritized over cardio. And you can get plenty of cardio out of weight training. That's how I get my cardio when I'm not doing a specific cardio. For me, it used to be, I've always done lifting. That's just my personal preference. I love it. I love lifting weights. I love doing that. But I also love doing high intensity interval training, HIIT training. All right, when I had my studio, I did my Saturday morning boot camp class with my clients, and that was all body weight stuff, it was murder, but it was nice. It was really good. So I still love doing that, and I still do it on occasion. But I will get my my cardio from resistance training. Overdoing it on cardio raises your cortisol. That's like a newer study too that shows that, you know, too much cardio, and that again could be different for everybody, can raise your cortisol levels. And our bodies need cortisol. It's a hormone our bodies need, but we need it at certain times. We don't want it to be all the time. That's our stress hormone, okay? So, and don't underestimate the power of non-exercise activity, okay? So we might be very active in our lives, all right? I know I am, all right? I sit and when I'm doing my my workout plans and nutrition plans for my clients, but when I'm with my clients, I'm up, I'm doing things, so a lot of my day is on my feet, and that's non-exercise activity, which burns a lot of calories. It's called NEAT, non-exercise activity thermogenesis, and that's how actually your body burns the most amount of calories in the day. It's not from your workouts. It's from this non-exercise activity. So it might be, you know, playing with your kids in the backyard, or, you know, taking a walk around the block, or it might be your job. You know, if you're moving around, if you're on your feet all day. So don't discount that. That could actually be classified as your cardio, depending on what it is and how much it is. So protein matters most in the kitchen, and resistance training matters most in the gym. And listen, fat loss is not just about nutrition and exercise. It's about what's going on up here too, all right? Your mindset. You have to understand that there's a lot of different components to fat loss. And it shouldn't be a limited time commitment either. Healthier habits must be established and practiced consistently. You don't want to look as, you know, body fat as a short-term goal, you know, losing body fat. It's a long-term goal to maintain it. So don't look at it as a start and a stop, all right? If you don't want it to come back, you need to find a balanced approach that you can maintain. Again, not a start and stop. Forget the diet culture, all right? And then you need the accountability to help get you there. Most people are missing the accountability. So there's no magic weight loss pill for weight loss during menopause, just like there isn't if you're not menopause, okay? But changing habits and learning to push yourself past that resistance and the self-doubt that a lot of us have inside of us, and getting that shit out of your head, okay? It's really the secret to change and to a better life. And when you push yourself, when you don't feel like it, you are building the discipline muscle. And that's one muscle that most of us need to work on more, is that discipline muscle, so that you can get it done. So, you know, I've been lucky because, you know, I've been in the fitness business for a long time. I have developed that discipline muscle. Listen, I can think back in a time when I didn't really have it as much, right? But if I didn't have that and the clean eating habits and the resistance training, then I'd be in a worse place than I am, you know, but my body changed and I don't like it, all right? But I love it at the same time. And the reason I love it at the same time is because it is treating me well, all right? I can still go to the gym and do what I've done when I, you know, had my leanest body. I don't have aches and pains anymore. I had some, nothing major, but I don't, you know? And, you know, I can push myself at the gym. I sleep well, you know? I can do these things. So my body's doing okay, and I need to love it, all right? And I do love it. But I'm also treating it well, and I'm feeding it well so that it treats me right, All right, and that's what I really try to encourage everybody to do. And I'm not obsessive either. That's the one thing that I've noticed, and I've talked to people, newer people that I've met, that they think that I'm obsessive, you know, because they know I'm a trainer, they know I work out at the gym every day, and they think I have this, you know, maybe this obsessive mindset about, you know, food and everything. You know, do I have my glasses of wine? Yeah. My martinis, my Moscow Mule. Exactly. I mean, I live life. All right? I gotta live life, right? It's not about not living life, and it's not about deprivation. It's not about anything like that. You know, I had a turkey burger on a bun.
Ooh, carbs.
Oh my God. You know, I had cookies too. I love my sugar. I love my sugar. It's a problem.
I think you just won a bunch of my people on Facebook when you said you were still drinking wine, because all my friends were saying that, like, I'm not giving up wine, just so you know. I'm like, I'm not making you give up anything.
Funny thing, yeah. When I start with a client, or when I, you know, have a consult with a client or a potential client, typically one of the early questions, if it's not the first question, is, do I have to give up my wine? Well, why would I want you to have to give up your wine? You know, is that going to make you happy? No, but we'll find the strategy. We'll find the right way to do it. Okay? I don't give up my wine. I don't give up anything. But I have my strategies for it. Okay? Now, I am in a place where I'm trying to get back to, I'm working on getting back to my leanest body. And I'm doing that because I'm very competitive with myself. You know, so I always have goals for myself, so I don't go in the other direction. That's just me. That's how I am. And, you know, I am noticing how much harder it is. I have to dial it in much stricter, and it's taken me a long time to do that because I'm in denial that I have to do that. So my steps forward towards, you know, where I want to get to, you know, are just smaller than they seem to be, you know, than they used to be, because they used to be like, you know, I'm like, oh, I could still eat that and I'll be fine tomorrow, you know, like that's not the case anymore. So because I'm, you know, still trying to live life and trying to make that, like, get to that massive goal, you know, they don't go together anymore. So yeah, exactly.
Do you feel like it's just going to take you a little bit longer?
Or a lot longer.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So it's just you're going to take the steps you need to, and you know you're going to get there, but you're not going to give up because you know it's just going to take you a little bit longer than before. But
right. Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. So and to be honest with you, I don't even know how long it actually took me, but I'm going to say you know, I dialed in for like a 12-week period of time. That's a good transformation period of time, is 12 weeks, and so I think I did it in 12 weeks. I've been going for I'm not gonna say.
longer than 12 weeks.
Maybe. So, anyway, yeah. So if you are not there yet, if you are still kind of figuring out what it is that you should do, start cleaning up your nutrition, okay? And pick up some weights. All right. Listen, the whole bulky thing, if anybody here in this room or anybody who's going to be watching this, you know, thinks that bulking up is going to happen, it's not. Women can't bulk up unless there's outside things going inside, you know. So, you know, women can't bulk up like men can bulk up, and especially now with our hormone levels being so much lower, you know. Some women feel they bulk up when they start lifting weights, and that's because they're not losing the body fat as quickly. So, you know, that could be one of the reasons. So, but bulking up is not going to happen. I mean, I lift weights. I've been doing it for a long time. I mean, if you think I look bulky, well, then, you know, then I'm going to say bulky is a subjective term. You know, everybody
You're not bulky.
has a different opinion of
You're strong.
of what that
like,
is.
You're really strong. But bulky is like when you look at the person, you're like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Like it looks like
Right.
they're balloons. Like
Right.
their arms are balloons, or their,
Yeah. So I don't think I am, but you know, everybody has a different, you know, perspective, and that's okay. You know, your perspective is what it is, and you have to decide what it is that you want for you. But listen, you're going to create a life that you love with action. You're not going to do it if you don't take action. All right, so you need to do that for you, and you need to decide what it is that you want for you. Like I said, if weight loss is what's, you know, everybody's priority in this perimenopause, menopause, postmenopausal state, then it's possible, and you have to decide what it is that you want for you. And listen, you can love the body that you have right now and still want it to change. There's no shame in that. You can love it and still want it to change. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. And like I said before, remember, not everybody is the same. Not everyone has the same symptoms, and not everyone has the same lifestyle. And it's, you know, there's not a one size fits all. And that's what I say to my clients or the people that I talk to about my programs. It's not a one size fits all. That's why I like to work with people one-on-one, because I make a healthier version of their lifestyle and meet them where they're at. And include the wine, you know, figure out where that can go. Include the cookie, include the like, we need cake.
We need cake, amen.
Ice cream.
You don't need cake. You need wine, you just need wine. Okay. You're like,
Or vodka.
I'm
I think that
vodka the better choice. So just saying. Yeah, I need cupcakes. It's been a while, but yeah, so I'd rather have that. My purpose and passion is to help women keep muscle and lose body fat. Diets don't care about that. Diets don't care about that. I care about that. Muscle matters. I like muscle. Muscle matters. And again, doesn't have to be big, bulky muscle. It's not going to be big, bulky muscle, but muscle matters for your metabolism. Okay? And that's so important now. Body fat comes back because you never actually learned how to lose it. So think about that. Think about that. All of those diets, all right, that just, you know, said, take all those calories away, take all the food away, stop nourishing your body the way it was meant to be nourished, stop exercising for some of them, you know, it's not the way to lose body fat and keep it off. All right, so, you know, you want to learn how to lose it so that it doesn't come back. So before, during, and after menopause, fill up your body with natural whole foods, treat it with strength training to keep it strong and improve your metabolism so you can burn fat at rest and keep it off. All right, so, all right, that's,
Will you have time for questions?
of course, I'll be here all night.
All right. I want you. Are you done? Because I have a bunch of things.
I
Go
think
ahead.
so. I don't have an ending line.
Okay, that's fine. We'll.
Somebody got one for me?
Oh,
Yeah,
we're
you
gonna.
don't have one yet.
I don't have one yet. Yeah. I gotta work
yet.
on that.
You're not done yet.
I did wanna just give you an experience of mine. Going back to, I mean, this doesn't have to be on live or whatever.
Oh,
but,
we could. I don't know.
well, whatever. Whatever. Listen,
Oh,
maybe
so no.
maybe
I
more
have
people
to figure out
relate
how to
and be
shut it
like, okay.
Shut it.
So going back to digestion, that's just recording. That's not recording on my phone, so that's different from the Facebook Live. So going back to the digestion, and I said that digestion is what I noticed the most on me. Like, I would be eating the same foods as I was always eating, and then all of a sudden I'm like, why do I look 3 months pregnant? Why do I feel sluggish now after this meal? Like it's just, yesterday I had it, it was all good. You know, now I'm like, what's going on? So being aware of your body and how it's reacting to different foods since the change, you know, is really important. I always promote awareness with my clients in a lot of different ways, you know, but learning how your body reacts to certain foods, and we're talking healthy foods. So what I noticed for me was healthy fats. Okay, now your body needs them. It's important, you know, and I'm like, I get it in my egg yolks, you know, so I would have 2 eggs, I'd have, you know, my peppers, I'd have some rice, whatever, and that's what I was saying, like all of a sudden, I'm like, why am I feeling like this, you know, and over time and after lots of research and all this kind of stuff, I realized it was too much healthy fat at one time for me, you know, and that's what's in the egg yolk. I'm a big egg yolk believer, eat them. It's the best nutrition of an egg. But anyway, so I then had to stop and go down to like 1 egg and like liquid egg whites. Egg whites is what I would use. But, and I learned that lesson a while ago, okay? But now, denial, we're talking denial still. I'm like, okay, so just for dinner, before coming here, like at 5 o'clock-ish, I guess I had dinner at 5 o'clock. So I had leftover ground turkey, and I seasoned it with like, you know, a low sodium taco seasoning, put it over a bed of green leaf lettuce, and I'm like, oh, there's avocado over there. I'm like, gonna have avocado. So now a serving of avocado is a quarter of an avocado, okay? So write that down. So when you guys are having avocado, quarter goes on your meal, not a half, like I did. And I have indigestion since 5 o'clock, sitting right here. Yeah, I'm like, all right.
How did you identify? I'm dealing with like the acid. Like I have just this a massive amount of like liquidy acid all the time. How did you try to figure out like what it was that you ate? Like how do you narrow it down? That's what.
So I eat a lot of the same foods all the time, and it was the eggs for me. First off, that was the big change. That was like, why is this now a problem for me? And I'm trying to figure out why. So I'm like dissecting my meal, you know, and I'm like, okay, I did have carbs in that meal too. So I do like my version of like vegetable fried rice, you know, and you know, the healthy version. So I saute my my pepper strips, and I have cooked rice that goes in there, you know, like quarter cup, half a cup, I don't know, 2 eggs, and mix it all together, and I have this, you know, delicious meal. And so I'm just dissecting that meal because, you know, whatever day that was, and this is back in, I guess, 2021, 2020 actually. And I'm like, oh my God, why do I feel like this now? So I'm thinking about, what did I eat before? What did I eat after? What did I eat yesterday? What, you know, I'm just sitting down, like trying to rack my brain, trying to figure this out, you know? And I realized it was that, and that's when I changed, and I'm like, okay, I realized it was that because I'm like, okay, let's cut down to 1 egg and see how I feel after that. So I just did it that way. Then I'm realizing avocados make me feel the same way. The egg yolks. What else? Nuts. Not anymore. I don't eat them anymore. So healthy fats all made me feel the same way. Now you need them. It's important for your body to have them for hormonal balance, for digestion. Healthy fats help digestion. I would have never believed that, you know, but I had to cut down on my portion of it. So I was eating too much at one time. Then I got totally afraid of it. I didn't cut out eggs because that's my favorite thing in the world, but I cut out avocado, I cut out nuts, and I'm like, this isn't good though either, you know? If healthy fats balance your hormones and help your digestion, I'm cutting them out, that's gonna screw me up even more. So then I had to just cut it down, like way down. You know, recently I was eating 2 eggs again in that same meal that I still eat just because I love it so much. And I was doing better with it. Oh, you know what though? I didn't have the rice with it. I didn't have the carbs with it. So then I was thinking the healthy fats and the starchy carbs at the same time were causing like that storm, you know? So I was separating those 2 things out. So, you know, that's not going to be you, maybe,
Right,
you know, it's not going to be you. It's not going to be you, you know, but that's me. And that's how I had to figure it out. I had to just start dissecting. But I was looking things up online. I was like, okay, I have resources online that I trust. And I'm like, okay, why am I feeling this way? You know, okay, this is how old I don't know. I was just Googling really weird things to try to come up with some answers that made sense. You know, and I was finding some, and then I was just trial and error. Doing some trial and error. But then I'm like, here I am with this dinner, and I'm like, no problem, you know. Avocados are so good for you. The fiber is so good. The fat is so good. Oh my God. I'm like, I didn't have any today. I didn't have any yesterday. I'm like, I'm going to go a half. I'll be fine. I'll be fine.
Not so fun.
Yeah. All right. So much for that. Lesson learned again.
I find that because I've been on, I would say, every single diet, including the ones where you buy packaged food, and I lost weight on that and put it right back on. And
There's your cracks in the foundation.
so I am now like, I think I have PTSD if there's a PDSD, post-diet stress disorder. So I want to eat a healthy meal. I'm like,
Most
"Oh,
people do.
you can't have carrots and Brussels sprouts because those, I was told on that diet, the O diet, you can't have those because those are really high in something that you can't have. So I always can't have Brussels sprouts and carrots. You can't have fruit because fruit is too high in sugar. And you can't have this because it's too high in that. So I look at a healthy meal, I'm like,
I'm having
"Can
a
I
hot
even eat
flash
this?"
hearing
But
this.
I have to relearn, like, what can I eat? And I'm like, I'm just gonna eat a bagel because I know that's easy. Like the bagel is easy. I can eat a bagel and then I don't have to
You
think
can
about
have a bagel, but you can't have fruit.
But no, I do it just because I can't think anymore. I'm like, I don't know what I'm supposed to eat anymore, so I'm just gonna eat the bagel.
So,
Like, I don't know what is healthy anymore. What can you eat? I don't even know. I have to relearn what is a healthy diet consistent.
I had to talk somebody into eating fruit who was on one of those, you know.
And when you work with your clients, and I do want you to talk a little bit about that, because
Okay.
I'm interested in that. When you work with your clients, you're telling them, I need somebody just to say, here's the foods you can eat and here's how the recipes of what you can make. Like, I'm kind of stupid like that. So, but if somebody tells me, like, here, you can have this frittata and this is how to make it. So I don't have to be like, am I allowed to, how much this do I put in? Am I allowed to have that? Do I have that? I need somebody just to tell me this is what you can eat, and then I make it and I eat it. But
Okay.
I'm just conditioned to, like, easy grab and go. Like, it's easier to grab this bagel than make an entire frittata.
But you make an entire frittata once and you have those pieces to grab and go.
Look at your arms.
I know.
I want
Bears.
this. I want this.
Okay.
You were trying, you want to be leaner than what you are now.
I know, I got-
No judgment on anybody
Okay.
where they're at. No
So,
judgment.
I'm glad that you
think
said that.
have a
Yes,
beautiful
thank you.
figure.
Thank you.
I really do.
No
I don't
judgment.
understand.
So I
what
was
you're-
gonna-
What you mean.
So I was gonna say, you know what? Everybody has this thought, you know, where they're comfortable with themselves, you know. And I'm comfortable. Don't get me wrong. It's a challenge for me.
But you're a trainer. You're supposed to be able to push yourself, and you're supposed to know how far you can.
Right, and it's just I'm
Play
a
with
competitive
yourself, right?
person. I
Play with
compete.
your
I'm
muscle.
competing with my 50-year-old self. That's what I'm doing. That's just me. That's the challenge.
hit 60.
Yeah.
I'm getting there. I'm getting there. But it's funny you say that because I have a client that I work with, and she says to me, she goes, I hired you because you're a trainer who also has goals. Like you're not
Right.
just somebody who
Right.
goes out and tells people what to do. You have goals for yourself. I always have goals
You're
for myself.
walking the walk. You're
I-
not just talking the
Right.
talk.
I do. I totally,
Right.
totally do. And I'm afraid, I have a fear, because I look at food and gain 10 pounds. I don't know if that's menopause or if that was before.
Menopause.
But,
Let's
okay,
blame everything
right?
on menopause.
So if I don't have goals for myself, I fear that I'm gonna go the other way.
Mm-hmm.
So I always, maybe it's a little stressful sometimes, but I'm not being crazy about it, you know, I'm just, I got to a level of lean that was ultra lean for a 50-year-old woman. And I'm like, oh, that's like awesome, you know. I am not there. And that's okay, you know, but to me it's about like defying what menopause tells us we have to be, you know, that it's
Right,
that
yes.
it's not gonna, so me it's about breaking that and saying, no, menopause, you don't get me.
Breaking the stereotype.
Yeah, you don't get to have me.
Yeah.
I still get to be in control of what I want for me,
Right.
you know.
It's clearly about, you know, staving off the onset of, you know, ill health. It's clearly about maintaining really good health, really good fitness levels so you can be active for that much longer.
So you can hit the curveballs
Right, so what are we supposed to eat
because
for
you don't know
breakfast?
what's coming.
Right.
Tell us what to eat.
I swear that's
Okay.
I want somebody to say
It's
you
like
can have focus on these for breakfast.
I want a
Focus on this
basic
for lunch.
3-meal menu that I can then like fall back on. Like in for
Right.
lunch fails, you can eat
Right.
this.
Okay,
Depends
so
on each person.
So I'll touch on then what I do. Okay, outside of I do in-home personal training for my clients. You know, so I do have clients where I go to their homes and I do in-home personal training with basic nutrition coaching. But
Ooh.
yes, that I do. That I do.
I have a gym in my basement. You can come
There you
anytime.
go.
Keep going. I'm sorry.
You won't regret it.
Well,
Thank you, Mary. Mary can speak to
I will
my
speak.
my training services. Anyway, but I also have programs that I wrote during COVID, okay, that I created during COVID, because I now needed to make that shift from being in front of people to being virtual.
Yeah.
Like everybody else had to do, right? So I developed programs. My main one is my 90-day program. Now, 90-day, it is 90-day program. That's how long we work together in that program. It's not a start and stop. That is your transformation program. Okay, that is the program where we work together one-on-one. You can have it as just the nutritional part, or you can have it with workouts too, because I have workout videos that I did, the entire video. So you press play, you work out with me at the time that works for you during the day. You don't have to wait for me, okay?
Oh, cool.
That's part of that program too. But anyway, the nutrition program, I am and have always been, and will never change from this, real world. You gotta live life, okay? So when we're talking about the 90-day program, it's my metabolism makeover program. And that is me and you working together, me helping you make over your lifestyle to a healthier one so that you can reach the goals that you want. And we talk about that. We do goal setting. We talk about habit changing. We work on those kinds of things. We meet on a weekly basis on Zoom. And I do not give you a menu. I do not say Monday for breakfast, this is what you're having. Because that is not real world. You're not gonna.
Right, this is why I have the problem.
You're not gonna live by somebody else's menu for the rest of your life. I teach you how to make your menus. However, I provide a shit ton of recipes. So there, you can make your menu, and we can do that together. Okay, making your menu together with these recipes or your own, and we build your plate. I teach you how to build your plate
Do you
because
work with couples?
yeah, sure. Oh yeah, absolutely. So so that's what I do. I help you change your lifestyle. I help you include your wine. I help you include a cupcake. I help you include things that you don't want to give up because it's not about deprivation. You can still lose weight and have a cupcake. You can still lose weight and have a glass of wine or vodka. You could probably have 2 vodkas. Just saying, and you can still lose weight. You can do it strategically where it doesn't sabotage the results you got and it doesn't keep you from the results that you want to get. Okay? There are ways around it because, when you do it the right way, you don't have to give it up. Okay? So that's what I do in a nutshell. I make women just feel better, live healthier lifestyles, and then be able to lose the weight. And I teach you how to work out. Okay? I teach you how to strength train. And that doesn't mean you have to do anything crazy. All right? It doesn't have to mean that. All right? It can be very simple, but it's going to take work. I'm not going to lie. It's a simple process, but it's going to take work, and you have to be willing to put in that work.
I worked out with and I still work out with Tiffany.
She presses the button, sees me on
I
her TV.
Tiffany's one of her programs, a 21-day challenge,
And then the Fit in 42.
but I had done the 21-day challenge like a year before, and I wasn't fully committed. And
Oh, right.
Tiffany kept saying, you put in you get out what you put in. Put in 10%, you get out 10%. So, okay, a year passes, and the opportunity comes up again. Things were different in my life and whatever, so I decided I'm doing it, because I was feeling lousy.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to attribute to, and I'm in my 60s, so the menopause, the family, lifestyle, the whole ordeal was there. It's like, all right, time for a change. I was going to the gym on a regular basis, which I have been for years and years, and I worked out with a lot of other trainers over the years and years, and I just wasn't getting the results I wanted. And again, I knew it was my own fault, but anyway, I encountered Tiffany. Boy, did I get the results. I did the 21-day challenge. It was awesome. And then after that, I did the 42-day challenge. And you're probably going to wonder, well, gee, if you did 21, why would you just continue with 42? Because I was just so addicted to the program. The eating concept is truly, you eat the foods you like, but you eat smarter, you eat healthier. And the workout with the training, the strength training that Tiffany has on the videos, I just get up every single morning and I do at least 15 to 30 minutes. They're basically 15-minute principles, but I push it to 30. and my mindset is clear, and my goals for the day are set, because I know I've already done that 30-minute strength training, and it, you know, I feel better. So I'm starting my day feeling better, no matter what the rest of the day holds. At least I know I've got that much out of the way. And as far as the food goes and the menus go, Tiffany provides a number of recipes. I'm no chef, and I've got my favorite
Me
ones,
either.
and I've got my go-to ones,
Mhm.
and they're great.
Mhm.
And I don't necessarily follow every single, recipe per se,
You don't have
or
to.
like one of the programs too offer like a lot of smoothies and things like that. I'm not a smoothie person, so I just flip those pages over and I go to the other
Mhm.
stuff.
Yeah.
But the combination and the variety is there.
Mhm.
And again, it's not so much, it's not a diet. Because diet, we said, was an acronym. Did I eat that? And, when you start
You
thinking
said
about
it, I
a
forgot
diet,
that.
and you go, did I eat that? And it's like, oh shit, yeah, you did eat that. And it's like, well, what are you gonna do about it? And I'm like, okay, well, tomorrow I won't eat that,
But you can also speak to, you're still sort of doing the program
Yes.
in a way. I mean, you're still doing the workouts because you always have them now. They're forever yours. But you're still eating that way because it's maintainable and sustainable.
Because it's my lifestyle.
It's just,
I've incorporated it
Right.
as a lifestyle.
and it's flexible. That's what it is about, the food. It's flexible. That's what I'm saying. Like, you can have your wine and all those kinds of things. That's flexibility. Okay, that's flexibility. It's not, you gotta eat this, and that, and that's it, and then you have your salad with your chicken for dinner. It's not. There's flexibility involved here, and it's learning how to navigate through your obstacles. That's one of the things we talk about each week. Okay, what obstacles are coming up, for you? A wedding, a vacation, a barbecue, or whatever it is. Okay, and we talk about strategies on how to get through those things with enjoyment and without sabotage. Okay, because you can have that balance. So that's what I do with my 90-day program. That is just one-on-one. What Mary was talking about, my 21-day program is a group program. My 42-day program is a group program also. The reason I have two different length programs, it's not because you're going to transform in 21 days. It's not because you're going to transform in 42 days. But some people need those shorter term commitments to jumpstart them, or maybe to finish it up. Maybe they started something on their own and they're doing okay or whatever, but they need to tighten it up. They need that accountability. They need that structure. And that's why they come into those programs. So I was trying to, create programs that would be attractive to different demographics or different lifestyles or different needs or results or, whatever it is that people want. So the group programs, I always say in the 21 days and the 42 days, I encourage being as strict as possible. Try not to go off, plan, if you want to call it that. Still flexibility there. But the choices are always yours. And you have to decide. Like, I have my Fit in 42s going on right now. And, I go, listen, what results do you want in 42 days? What do you want in 42 days? So let's backtrack, and what do we need to do to get there? Do you need to stay on 100%? Do you need 100% in so you can have that 100% out at 42 days? Or do you want a little more flexibility? The choice is yours, okay? Only you can decide what the results are that you want at the end of the program, all right? And then we work on those action steps to get there. So, but those are the group programs, like I said. And then I run like small little challenges here and there. They're never challenges against somebody else. They're only for you. They might be a group setting, but it's for you. And the groups, I like the groups because everybody feeds off of each other. Everybody shares with everybody, and that's
accountability.
more accountability, exactly. So that's why I like to do the groups. The Fit in 42 I only do in April and October. So this one's going to be over by Memorial Day weekend. I'll run it again in October, but there'll be probably a couple other little ones.
What's the
along the way.
90-day program you and I were?
So the 90-day program is the Metabolism Makeover Program. That's our one-on-one. That's my one-on-one program. That's just you and me.
Will you talk about cost at all, or would you rather do that separately? Because I think I'm interested in that 90-day metabolism makeover.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, so there are different, because the 90-day metabolism I can't get it here anyway. I know what it is. the 90-day metabolism makeover has kind of two different levels to it, because you can do the nutrition part of it only. You know, maybe you have your own workout plan going on, and you know, and that's fine. It doesn't have to be mine. I wrote mine in 2020 when everybody was home and everybody had a set of dumbbells,
Yeah.
you know, or ordered them from Amazon, which then you couldn't do anymore because everybody would buy them from Amazon. So I did it for both of those things, but then I separated the two and I said, okay, we can just do the nutritional part of that, and then we can do the nutrition with the workout videos. But if we just do the nutrition part of that, I can still help you through your workouts at your gym. We can still have that conversation as part of our weekly Zoom meeting. So I don't say, no, we can't talk about fitness. No, I don't do that. I want to help you. I want to get you to where you want to be. So I'm going to help you as much as possible. So my 90-day program it's $4.99 a month for 3 months. Okay, so it's $1,500 for the 90-day, the nutrition program. It's $5.99 a month if you add on the workout videos to it.
Okay, so $4.99 a month for 3 months for the nutrition.
Right. So I break that down into those 3 payments. I mean, you can pay up front if you want to, but I always break it down into those 3
And
payments.
we talk once a week.
We talk once a week. Yep, on Zoom for up to an hour. But that's just the Zoom. That's just the face-to-face.
Mm-hmm.
We have constant contact.
Okay.
Yeah. It's not like, oh, see you next Monday.
Right.
Bye-bye. Don't want to hear from you. You're not going to hear from me. That's not the case. You're going to hear from me probably more than you want to.
Okay.
Where are the workouts done?
So if you do the workout part, it's a video. I have the videos made. And I did the full workout. So I'm not saying like, here, you know, go do squats, then do lunges, then do this. It's press play. Let's go.
Yeah.
Doing it.
The fear that I have with that
Mhm.
is because you could be doing it wrong.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And
Mhm.
you could and I've done that.
Yeah.
Where I've done more damage to my lower back or ripped,
Okay.
okay, because I wasn't, you know, when somebody's there telling you, and the other part of it too is you have the accountability.
Yeah.
Of
That's the benefit
someone
of
saying,
personal
no,
training.
Barbara,
Yeah.
keep going.
Mhm.
You know, do another one. Do
Right.
another one.
So
Yeah.
I do in-home personal training. I could do virtual personal training as well, and do nutrition coaching with that. You know, I always do nutrition coaching now with you know, with any personal training client. So it's general stuff. It's basic. It's not, you know, getting deep into it, but we'll talk about it through the workout, and I'll give you, you know, information, worksheets, you know, that kind of stuff. I could just have a client today that I just got started with. And we're going to talk about her protein intake. So I told her to give me, you know, 2 or 3 days of her general, you know, food intake, so I can take a look at it and, you know, point out red flags, give her tips and tricks and stuff like that. So yeah, so I always include that. I don't leave anything out. I give away a lot.
Mhm.
I you know, because it's the whole package is nutrition, it's exercise, and then sleep and stress management. You know, you know, those are the 4 pillars of a healthy lifestyle, and I want everybody to benefit, you know, with all of that. So, so like I said, even in the nutrition program, which is the one-on-one, and we meet a lot, you know, but I'll always give fitness tips, and then vice versa if we did personal training. So, yeah. So, yeah.
I have a question.
Please.
Do you believe in the in-body scan? Like, is that an accurate?
Yes, I believe in the in-body scan. So I use it myself. It's at the gym. It's always plus or minus. It's not the best way to go. So I'm kind of glad you brought that up. When I was doing my own fitness challenge when I was 50, I used the in-body scan. I also used my own scale that has body fat on it, and but I know that's not as good as the in-body because you got the 4 points.
Body scan.
So it's a scale.
Oh.
Okay, and you stand on it and you have arms on it, and it does your weight and it does your body fat, and it really segments your body. It'll tell you about your right arm, your left arm, your right leg, I mean your trunk and everything. What I did, because InBody's the best way to go without having to get a DEXA scan, okay, which is the best way to measure body fat. That's what I did when I treated myself for my 50th birthday to a DEXA scan. So I knew what my body fat was, and I knew absolutely what my body fat was because I did the DEXA scan. But the in-body is the other.
Was it close?
It was actually only off by 1% from my scale, which I was surprised about. So that was the week before my 50th birthday, so I went down 1% more by my 50th birthday. So, because of course I had to beat myself, but yeah, so that happened to be close, so I was surprised. I don't like what it says now, just saying.
So I did a 42-day crash diet I told Patty about, and we started and ended with the
With the
scan.
in-body? Okay.
Yeah, and I kept I did do 6 weeks of strength training.
Okay.
I had just started strength training.
Great.
So I did a crash diet and a crash strength training program together.
What was
And
the
Orange Theory.
Oh, and Orange Theory. Okay. All right. What was the crash diet? Like, you don't tell me what it was, but like, what did
I
it,
don't care.
what did it make up for? What was it?
So it's called Chirothin. It's run by chiropractors, and it's like B12 drops. And then it's 2 meals a day of 4 ounces of approved protein, 4 ounces of approved vegetables, and 4 ounces of approved fruit. And then he added a third meal for me, which was what we picked it together, which was 4 ounces of fat-free yogurt, 50 grams of granola, and 4 ounces of fruit. So that was my third meal for my exercise days, which was pretty much 6
Is that why he gave you a third meal because
Yes.
of exercise days?
And then he said, and
Thank God.
I don't want you passing out, so take a protein bar with you, which I eat Built bars. And he's like, just have a protein bar with you, so if you ever feel lightheaded or you're starving, just eat it, like it'll be fine.
Okay.
So I did that for the entire 6 weeks.
Did you track calories?
We did not track calories because it
Oh.
was, no, I didn't, because I just wrote it in a book, like it was literally like 4 ounces of chicken
Yes.
breast, right? Salmon wasn't even on the list. Like salmon wasn't, pineapple, bananas, and grapes. Were like the missing fruits. Carrots you could have, but 3 ounces instead of 4. And then there was water vegetables. So you could have that unlimited, but his thing was don't snack. Like eat it with your meal. Which I actually think, and I don't know, I'd like your thoughts on that too, because I feel like my new perimenopause state, like the snacking is bad.
Yes.
Like even if it's healthy snacking, like it doesn't matter.
Right.
So anyway, so I did not count calories. I still did Weight Watchers because I am obsessed with all those things. I still put in my points every day, even though I wasn't eating any points, and I was.
Oh, that's so funny. Yeah.
But I did the 6 weeks. I lost no muscle. I lost 21 pounds of fat according to the
Okay.
in-body scan.
Okay.
And then I did like 2.5 weeks of maintenance before my vacation, and I lost 3 pounds, but gained 2 pounds of muscle.
Okay. Nice. Okay.
So I just didn't know, like, but is that true?
Okay,
Like, I didn't
so
know if I
that's-
believe it.
So all right, so it was only 2 meals a day on your non-workout days, right? But it was 3 meals a day on your workout days. Okay.
I would
that-
say it was between 500 to 900 if I was going to guess calories.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, you definitely don't. That is not sustainable.
No, my metabolic rate's like 1700 to your point of whatever.
Okay, so you know what? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, 'cause it's on there. It's on the in-body scan.
Oh yeah, your BMR. And that's the basic amount of calories your body needs just to lay on the couch all day. You know, not even allowing for any activity.
But
So
I'll tell you, I felt great.
okay.
Like, so I didn't, like, for whatever was, and maybe it was mental. Like,
Yep.
I slept better. I gave up alcohol.
Okay, well, and there you go. I mean, what happened with you in that diet is you got some structure. You had to follow these principles of
I
this
paid
diet.
$700.
Paid him $700. You felt great, but it cleaned up what you were doing before, which is what you needed, because otherwise you wouldn't have done that, right? So
Yeah.
there was a big difference between what you were doing before to then the diet that you did. Okay, but where are you now? When was this?
This was leading up to mid-April.
Okay, so it's recent.
It's very recent. So
Oh.
I went on 10 days to Southeast Asia. I ate and drank whatever I wanted, 0 moderation. I barely exercised. I gained 4 pounds, and I lost it the first week I was home.
It's water weight.
So I lost like 5.5.
Okay.
And
So-
that's pretty much. I still want 10 more. But I am doing, and I've been telling Stephanie that we need to start lifting weights. That's what we need to do.
Mm-hmm.
So I have like the Peloton, so I've been doing the strength classes.
Okay.
Because I did that 6-week boot camp, but then it really did get too easy for me because new people kept coming in and it was more catered towards like, okay, so you can't do a 30-second plank, we'll do a 10-second plank. And I'm like,
Oh, gotcha.
Am I
Yeah,
doing
yeah, yeah.
and it wasn't cheap either. So that's why I'm like,
Wait, that was boot camp for.
this was like a 6-week boutique.
Oh, something else. Okay.
Yeah, not Orange Theory. Orange Theory, it's cardio. Like,
Right.
But I'm only doing that twice a week. So
Okay.
it's not like crazy.
Yeah.
But I'm doing the Peloton like strength classes now.
Okay.
And I just started that when I got back from vacation.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So you're not. I mean, but how are you eating now?
I'm eating basically Weight Watchers style, but according to his, like those pillars. So like on Weight Watchers, like shrimp is 0 points, right? It doesn't like you don't count the points, or chicken, but I'm limiting it to 4 ounces.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with like yogurt, it's no points, but I'm limiting it to a portion size.
Which is portion control is everything.
Right,
I mean,
right, and like, and again, I am snacking, which is why this week has been bad, but, and again, like, not bad snacks, but
Mm-hmm.
snacking, and I wasn't doing that,
Right.
in
Right.
maintenance, I wasn't doing that, the first week I got back from vacation, I wasn't doing that,
Right. But now you are.
and I'm now.
Because it
up
wasn't
3.
sustainable before.
Well, now I'm like addicted to Gilmore Girls, so I'm up all night watching this.
I'm on Ally McBeal.
I'm eating these stupid Alyssa healthy cookie things.
Okay, so you have to look at it as what is sustainable. What is gonna make you stay where you're at, or give you the more of the results that you want to be at, versus going the other direction. I'm not a big believer in counting calories and points and macros. I believe there's a place for that, macros and calories mostly. And when I work with my clients one-on-one, we decide, what that BMR is. I talk about being calorie aware. Okay, you need to be calorie aware. A lot of people can't count calories. Like it's tedious to do it, right? You don't need to do that really for general weight loss if you're following the right portion controls, okay? And then you do intuitive eating, okay? So paying attention to how you feel. So it's when you get, when you need to dial in a little bit more, when you have a little bit of weight that you want to lose or body fat that you want to lose, and you're just place where you're that close to it, then you have to dial that in, then you have to really start counting calories and macros and paying attention to that. So that's where I'm at for me right now. That's what I do. Otherwise I don't do that. I hadn't done that for the longest time. I just realized now that I need to do that to get to where I want to be, and I don't know if I'm gonna get there. There is a certain amount of acceptance I have to have, with my postmenopausal body, and that's okay too. But I just don't go the calorie counting route. But if you're eating 3 meals like that, I mean that's pretty good. Like except for that it's so far below your BMR, that's concerning. But then if you're not working out enough, so that's what it is. It's like, what is your lifestyle, and that's what I would need to know from like for my clients. I'm like, all right, we're gonna talk about your workouts, how much, what kind of calories, all that kind of stuff. What do you do outside of working out? What do you do, like what is your eating patterns and all of that kind of stuff to get to know that client. That's why it's not a one size fits all. Everybody's lifestyle is different. Everybody needs different things. Everybody, everything is different. People's sleep is different. Their activity levels are different. Their nutritional needs, are different. So, that's how I work with people. But, I'd be curious to know if that's sustainable. What you're doing, the food part, is that sustainable? Can you live like that so that you keep the results that you get?
If I continue to go to bed at 9:30, which is what I used to do, yes, I could sustain it. But now that I'm up till 1 a.m., it's not sustainable.
Right.
But I really was like, we stopped hanging out. Like I stopped going out. For those 42 days, I ate out twice in 42 days, which I always eat. Like I go out almost every weekend, and I drank twice.
Okay.
And twice, I mean like 1 tequila soda each time.
And that's what in my 42-day program that's the level that I want people to be at. And I'm like, listen, you signed up for 42 days. Where do you want to be in that 42nd day? Where do you want to be? What do you want to shout out? Where do you want to be? And that's what I encourage people, like, it's 42 days. Stick to it, you know, be that driven through the 42 days so that you can get that 100% result out. So, but that plan is sustainable. You know, people might, you know, deviate from it and then they're like, oh, I just went back to week number 1 and I'm good again, you know, but it's all food. It's all food. It's just exercise. It's just food. So, yeah, so that's interesting. But but you got, it
But
sounds like you got
and-
amazing results.
I did, but the thing is, like, I weighed this last Christmas, like, Christmas of 21, like, but then this whole perimenopause, like, and again, I don't, like, terrible sleep, hot flashes, brain fog, racing mind, 3 in the morning, I'm like, did I plan that, whatever I was supposed to do, and like, I'm get up and go get on my computer, so like, it's insane.
Yeah. So I like the word that you just used, plan. Planning can save you from so many things. You know, planning meals, planning workouts, planning sleep, planning. That can save you from a lot and get you through the perimenopause and the menopausal stages. You just have to do more of it. So journaling is important. Journaling your food is important. You're already doing that.
Yeah.
So that's important. You know, that's because that's awareness too, if you're honest on the journal. That's awareness. So that's a huge thing, and that's something that I nail into everybody's is about the journaling. So yeah. But yeah, I'd be, you know, if you can maintain that, if you can sustain that diet, you know, but I just don't, to me that doesn't sound healthy enough because of you're going to be catabolic at that point.
It definitely didn't have, and it had no fat.
Oh.
Right, so like, because there's,
Okay.
you can add oil, or like, and there was no avocado, there was no salmon, so like, it was too low fat.
Okay.
I'm not doing it like that, like, I have olive oil on
Gotcha.
every salad now.
Okay, so that's yeah.
Can I say, in my personal experience, because I also have done every single diet known to mankind, and then some. When you go for too little fat, what will